Why are you giving it that power?
I don't know. Because it's just there. It's not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just sitting there, and I'm just taking care of myself and doing what I need to do to take care of myself. And
Yeah.
they're living their life across the way, sending love.
They need it.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
need the love. There's obviously a huge disconnect. And I think that she probably deserves better. And I don't think that she realizes that it's about
I think they
controlling the
both. They
masculine so
both
that,
do. They're just
oh,
in. Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But there's
But onward, or this way, onward.
moving on, moving on, out with the old.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good today.
Yeah.
I'm good today. But I think every day, yeah, that's such a cliche saying of one day at a time,
But it's so
but
real.
it's so real. And some days
It's
it's not one day at a time, some days it's hour by hour.
oh, for sure. Like
Like, grief is
one
so
breath
weird.
at a time.
It's so weird. And like, I've experienced grief before, but in the capacity of like the loss of a relationship.
I was just reading about that. Someone just sent me something. Oh, I kind of want to pull it up because it resonated so deeply for me. Um, One moment. Do
Holding.
do do do. Okay, it's from the holistic psychologist.
Oh God, I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
I'm
So
sure I
it
know
says,
exactly what post you're talking about.
yeah, depression is a natural response to the loss of emotional intimacy, understanding depression as grief. And then, like,
Yeah.
all of her slides are just incredible. Um, there was one that, okay, having secure friendships, family relationships, and romantic partnerships makes us more physically healthy, confident, and resilient. And I feel that so, like, on such a visceral level that I feel sometimes just so sad or empty and don't know where it's really stemming from. And like this really kind of made it more, like it
Yeah.
just made sense to me. I felt
Yeah.
it.
I love her post because it resonates so hard with that level of like disconnect and grief. And then I also realized in this whole process with losing my cousin and everything that like I don't know a whole lot about the level of grief in regards to like someone physically dying. Like,
Mm.
I only know the level of grief of like grieving a relationship or a partnership
Oh,
or a
yeah.
friendship. I don't know it on a scale of actually like losing somebody, and not just losing somebody, but like someone who was like an extension of who you are.
Yeah.
And
But now
so,
you're experiencing it.
and now I'm experiencing that, and it's such a different level of grief
Mm.
that's hard to navigate. And I also realize like I don't follow a whole lot of pages that have anything to do with that kind of grief, and my whole
Mm.
algorithm is all about like personal development, personal growth, mending relationships, partnerships, learning how to navigate new ones of those. And now I'm trying to like find a new algorithm that resonates with who I am now, because it's not the same person I was
Yeah, it's
even a
shifted
month ago. It's
tremendously.
completely shifted into someone completely different. And while all that stuff still resonates, it's kind of like on the back burner because I need to learn how to be this newer version of myself that I've never met.
Mm.
So, one day at a time is very simply put.
Yeah, for
But
real.
that's exactly how it is. And the steps to navigate it, I think, are the same. Like, knowing I'm just tremendously sad and
Yeah.
bringing that awareness in is the same as bringing the awareness of like losing a friendship or a relationship. The process is the
Mm,
same. It's just like having it resonate in a certain way that like hits you in your heart so that you can put the next foot in front of the other is the difficult part. Like I
yeah.
basically
Yeah.
feel
Your
like I'm
nervous system
relearning
is
to walk.
rocked.
Yeah.
Your nervous system is completely rocked right now. It's, and
Yeah.
she put in here too, like when we lose emotional intimacy, friendship or romantic, the loss is intense. Our nervous system goes into fight or flight.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely feel like I lost a part of myself. Like it died. Like an extension of my soul died when she died. And I'm navigating it, but I just learning what that new normal feels like is so new.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah. So today I'm good.
Oh, I'm so
Today
glad.
I'm good.
5 minutes, you can be different, and that's
Yeah.
okay. And we
In five
just
minutes
honor
I
the
could just be
flows.
bawling, laying in the rain.
That's
But
okay. That
it's
sounds
just
nice.
it's part of the process. And I think the main part of that process is accepting that that's the process and not getting in your own way of being like, I don't want, I don't want to feel that and shoving it away. Like it's so important in every step of the journey to actually allow yourself to feel that way.
Yeah. Because I feel like the more that we try to bury it or just be like, okay, I'll deal with you later, like, then it's just going to build up and come out
Yeah.
in
And
different
then
ways.
it does. It does. And I also, I know we were going to talk a little bit about anxiety, and this kind of ties into that because over the
Yeah.
weekend on Friday, me and my boyfriend had plans to just us two for the weekend and do this event for the business, and it was super fun. But Friday evening, we were going to go out there just to check out to see if the van would be able to get out there in the mud, and
Mm,
then we grabbed a couple alcoholic beverages, and I had anxiety before going out there, and I just like at the time you were like, well, I don't really know why, like I'm just feeling like kind of activated. And
mm,
really afterwards I knew why. Like I knew I wasn't really in a position to be ready to consume alcohol yet. Like
yeah.
I had a really bad day that day, really missing Jesse and navigating all of that we were just talking about. I really shouldn't have consumed any alcohol, but I did it anyways.
Yeah.
And then it ended up not turning out good for me. And thankfully I have a really supportive partner. And so the next day navigating that now anxiety about how much alcohol I consumed, because then I just started bawling because alcohol
Mm,
activates all of those senses and really just takes you down. And thankfully he was so supportive the next day and was really there for me and reassuring that like I didn't do anything wrong, it happens, but now we know
yeah.
tonight
Girl, you're moving
what are you
through
gonna
big
do? But
stuff.
oh my god. And then I go through the stages of like feeling really shameful, like putting shame
Mm,
on myself that like why is this affecting you so much? Like you're so strong, you've gotten through so many things. Why are you sitting here allowing all of this to affect you so much? And then it's like, wait, no, pump the brakes. It's a constant internal dialogue
yeah.
about like how I should and shouldn't be feeling when really there's no like should or shouldn't. It just
Like,
is.
hello, you're human. Like, we are human.
Also, hello,
Fortunately and
like
unfortunately.
it was a traumatic event that you just
Yeah,
went
girl.
through, like it's you're not just gonna, oh, funeral happened and now everything goes back to
No.
normal. It doesn't work that way. But
Yeah.
it's also there's so many, I mean, shame, guilt, anger. and it's not geared towards anyone but like myself. And then
Yeah.
it's like, why are you putting that on yourself? You know, the first rule of it is to just like feel it, to just be there for it. But
And honor it.
again, we're
Yeah.
human. We're so human.
And you got to cope and you got to figure it out and you're going to get through this. You always fucking
Yeah,
do.
always.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely is one of those life lessons that mold you into a core belief system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're literally doing it. And you've got lots of love and support around you, like in literally everything.
I think that's been the most humbling part is like truly understanding how much love and support I have cultivated over the years. Like my circle
Mm.
is so amazing. It's so amazing. And it is that way because I made all these radical hard changes with myself that I now
Mm.
attract that type of energy into my life. And that's the benefits. And that's the reaping of the benefits for all the hard work. It's not that bad things won't happen anymore or hard things don't happen anymore. It's about you're able to navigate it at that level because of the love and support you've cultivated, that
Mm.
circle that you've
You're doing the work.
cultivated.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
I love that for
Yeah.
you. I need to get shirts made for that.
You do. You really do.
Uh, well,
I'll be the
today is
first one to wear
Tuesday.
it.
Tuesdays with Tati.
Tuesdays with Tati.
Love
We missed
that.
last week because I was really, I think you can still kind of hear it, but I was like, I had such a bad sinus thing going on.
Yeah, the break was nice. And I feel like I've been moving through a lot since you were at my house. And
Mm-hmm.
just like I feel like I've been just eliminating so many things that just don't serve me and just like honor, like feeling a shift, noticing it, and then deciding, okay, no more. Like this has gotten me through, like I've enjoyed this for this period of time and like with these people, and then just knowing when to walk away. And so
Yeah.
that's been really interesting. And like just noticing everything that comes with that. And I'm feeling like some sense of grief too, um, just on a completely different scale. And it's like, okay, because there's parts of certain situations that you're like, that are super fulfilling. But then there's other parts where it's like I can feel it in my body, just like this like deep twinge where I'm like, okay, but I know I need to walk away from this, like, because it's not
Mm-hmm.
serving my highest good
It's such a weird
person.
feeling when your body is literally rejecting it.
Yeah, and I like it's so funny because like I'll have a conversation, like lots of conversations in my own head when you spend lots of time alone, when your circle
Mm-hmm.
is so small now. And I'm like, I'll just be like, I'll just like dismiss myself and like the signs are, and I'm like, oh, no, like, but I really like this one part of it. Like, I just want to stay. And it's like holding on to it. And then it's like, no, like, let it go. And like, I can feel
Yeah.
myself expanding. And, but you don't know until you let go what
It's
it's going
because
to
it's
feel
like
like.
the uncomfortability of the unknown. You're like, well, I love this really one key component of this experience, and so here I am on the other side of the line with my like old life or old whatever it is, holding on to the just the fingertip because you've already let go like so much, and you can't like by holding on to that, you're missing out on the entire entity of greatness that's on the other side of it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
this
but you don't
tiny,
know. So
the
you're like,
tiny, the tiny little tidbit you're like literally playing tug of war with is so minuscule compared to what that door is going to open over here. But we don't know because we can't see it. And so
Yeah.
we hold on for dear life because it's just an ounce of goodness.
Yeah. And honest also just like honoring that there is those seasons of like needing that like those people like and knowing that
Yeah.
it's just going to bring me whatever to the next chapter
Mhm.
onward, but like gaining what you gain from all of those things and then like stepping away so you're able to just like be in your own energy and apply all the things that you have noticed and learned, and just like you can apply those things to
Yeah.
your future self, your present
Mhm.
self,
And
and
then
knowing
those
that
new
those people
ones
are
are going to
still over
test
there
that too.
for
That
sure.
it's going to put it to the ultimate test. That knowledge that you've learned.
So yeah, just kind of like settling in from all of that and
Yeah.
just noticing and being so aware of my surroundings and the people that I cross paths with, and like yeah, I'm just very very sensitive right now.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's me, sensitive. It's my
Mhm.
middle name. I said that to my kids one time and they're like, "No, it's not, Mom."
It might be.
Jenna sensitive.
Yeah, well, a leaf falls wrong and I'm like, "Da, da, 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 da." I'm just like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, it's just like
No.
the wind just blew so beautifully, you
Yeah.
know? And he's like,
I feel it.
no, not really, but
I was journaling this morning and like, oh, I'm just obsessed with these lilacs. I was journaling and like new moon. It's the new moon today, and just like setting my intentions and like writing as specific as possible. And as I like finished up, of course, I'm like sitting on my porch having coffee, and then right when I put my pen down, a crow is like, I'm like, okay, I hear you. I thought of you too because
did I tell you about the crow in my
well,
driveway?
you wanted me to look it up.
But did I tell you the story behind it?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh.
Please, please share.
Okay. So I was having a very just like another rough day in my grief and just really missing Jessie and took her dog for a walk.
Mm,
And then after, like while I was on this walk, I just was like, I had to make this speech at her funeral, and
mm,
I totally just have spent a lot of my energy since her passing dedicated to making sure that that speech fully embodies the essence of who she is, to
mm,
really like bring that to light for every single person in that room. And so I I was feeling like I just wasn't sure in what I was saying was um, doing that. And so I just like, it was one of those like very theatrical, like spiritual moments where you like fall to the ground. And I'm like, please just show me something that this is like what I'm doing is the right thing and how I'm going about it is the right way. And really just like pleading with her to give me some sort of sign that what I'm doing is right. And
mm.
she was a very she loved animals. Like she wanted to be a veterinarian. And so literally she would bring home like injured animals and like nurse
Aw.
them back to health.
Oh, I love her.
And yeah, so on my way home, I was pulling down the driveway and there was a crow hobbling across the driveway like it couldn't fly itself. It was
Stop.
like stumbling bumbling and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like it's an injured crow." And me being me, I'm like, oh, Jesse would want me to try to save this animal. And so I get out and it's like trying to fly away from me as I'm like
Mm,
trying to slowly approach it and try and catch it. And then I just stopped and I let it like hobble away. And it looked like maybe like a foot was broken or like a wing, maybe. And I don't know anything about nursing a bird back to health, but I was determined to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so it finally stopped in the grass off to the side of the driveway. And I went up to it and I just like started petting the back of its head. And then it let me like grab its wings and like just hold it like this. And I'm like trying to inspect, I'm looking at the wing and I'm like, okay, well, it's moving. It doesn't look like clearly like disabled, or then the leg didn't really look broken. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know because I don't know anything about birds. So I'm just holding it, and then I just like was looking at it, and it kept like looking back at me. And then it just like stared at me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna bring it back to the car and bring it up to the house. And as I turned around to go back to the car, it flew away.
Huh.
Completely fine, unscathed.
Interesting. So,
And
what did that
so
feel for you?
for me, that was my sign
Hmm.
that what I was doing and how I was going about it was perfectly how it needed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm also very glad that she didn't actually send me a injured animal, because I would have no idea what I was doing, and if I would have killed it, I would have been even more
He's just
distressed.
messing with.
She was, but that's what she does. Those are her shenanigans, and it was just a really symbolic sign for me that that was her, and that was the sign she gave me. And then when you sent me what the crow means,
Yeah,
it
what
was even more
resonated?
um I can't even remember what it said.
Because
It
I'm
was
like,
a
I didn't
while
even
ago,
read
but
it.
it was basically
I feel
like
like it's come up so many times.
something you're navigating, and
Oh, here it
you're,
is.
yeah,
Okay.
you got it pulled up.
Um, if crow shows up, it means you're on the verge of manifesting something you've been working toward for a while. Be very watchful over the next couple of days for any clear omens or signs that will guide you and teach you. Expect a big change very soon. Okay. You've noticed something that's out of balance or an injustice that hasn't been addressed, and it's important to speak up about it. You're about to get a glimpse into some future events that affects you directly. So, yeah,
So
a couple things
yes,
resonate for
the
me,
big
others
part
do not.
the big part that resonated was the severe injustice that needed to
Mm,
be like brought to light. And the thing I was struggling the most in this speech was she was in a very domestic violent relationship, and I think that that contributed to, I mean, eventually like her demise and her departure in this world. And so there's been a lot of anger in me about that situation, and this partner still being very much present in even her afterlife. And in part of my speech, I wanted to discuss the importance of like taking care of yourself, and also like having enough self-respect to recognize like who doesn't deserve a seat at your table.
mm,
And I was tugged and pulled with acknowledging that and talking about it, and if I should or shouldn't at all. And
mm.
so that really resonated in that part of seeing the crow, because it was also like my sign of like, you're doing me justice. You're doing
Mm.
right by me by bringing these things to the attention of others in a way of not, demoralizing said individual, because said
Yeah,
individual doesn't even deserve any of that energy or
they're on their own
attention,
journey.
but in
Yeah.
a way of acknowledging like this, your life on this plane is just such a blip. Like, please don't waste it giving precious energy of yourself to another human being, or giving the self-worth you have within yourself power to another person,
Mm.
and honoring her in a way that wasn't out of anger but out of love and respect.
Yeah.
So
I
that was
feel
a
like she's
big,
really guiding you to be so brave
yeah,
and use that beautiful voice that you have and and lead with love, like
yeah,
ultimately.
yeah. So that was a big, other people will just see an injured crow on the road, but to me, I'm like, that was a philosophical event. That
That happened when we were at
was
my
huge.
I feel you. Women are so sensitive to like every little thing that I don't know. And like I said, like for me, I spend so much time alone that I birds are closer to me than
Yeah.
people. Like, and
And now what's
I was
crazy
walking
is,
through
go ahead.
I was walking through the house before I went to the gym this morning, and it's like, and timing, the timing of everything is just so cool. But I was just like in my laundry room, which let's just take a moment and like be excited that I have a laundry room.
Your whole area over there is like the most elite level of like a
Oh my God.
bathroom, laundry room,
Oh, it's pretty
closet.
slick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for living in a 2 bedroom apartment with 3 kids for 3 years. To this is nice. But I was looking out the window, and of all places, like there was a cardinal that just swooped in and like landed on this tree, like right outside the window. And of course, like I want to take a picture, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna like enjoy this moment
Mm-hmm.
and just like those cardinals are so pretty. And it was just really sweet. And then he just flew off. So
That's what they
thank
do.
you, birds.
That's what they do. Yeah. I've seen every day that I've pullen into the driveway, there's been a crow on on the road, on the driveway, and then another one that swoops down at the same time, and then they both pick up and they go into the woods. And it's like clockwork every day.
Aw,
Always two crows. One on the
you
driveway,
should,
one in a tree, and they both swoop at the same time. And a lot of people would be like, "Well, yeah, it's because you're driving down the driveway, like you spooked them."
whatever.
Yeah,
No.
no, I know, but like, is it a coincidence that it's one always in the road and one always in the tree, and they swoop at the same time
I feel like
and
one
go
of
the
them
same
should
way?
be named Harold.
Harold, okay,
Harold and Franklin.
Harold, Harold and Franklin. Aren't those turtles? Isn't Franklin a turtle?
Yeah. Uh, uh,
Well,
little Harry
Harold
and
and
Frankie.
Franklin.
You're
Yes, you were
welcome.
called to call them that. That's what they are now.
Oh,
Harry and Frankie.
oh,
I'm okay with that.
oh, it feels good to laugh. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
that enough. So there was another thing that came up today about animals or
Oh
animals.
boy.
So last night I was watching King King Williams. It's like the movie with Serena and Venus Williams.
Okay.
It's I loved tennis, so it really like made me want to hyperfixate on tennis and like get back into it. But I hear this like fly buzzing, and so I can't handle the vibrating noise, and I feel bad for the thing. So I like open the door to the patio and like let them out, whatever. But then this morning I'm like sitting having my coffee and I hear this same fly buzzing. I'm like, man, homie was trapped all night, like just like trying to get at the window, like because the screens are open a little bit. And it just made me think of like just me. I was the fly. Okay, just hang on, follow along with
Mm-hmm.
me.
I'm following.
Okay, so I'm the fly. And it was like the fly was just like felt like he was trapped in this little patio. he's trapped. He can't get out, but there's a screen and he can like feel the wind outside. He can feel it, but he's like, I don't know how the fuck to get out of here. So I'm just going to freak out. And like, that's what I'm feeling like me. I'm freaking out because I'm like in this, like, I can't see outside of what is next for me. But then I came in. I'm the person. The fly's just the fly. And I'm coming in and like, okay, let me help you. Like, let me show you. Like, so I open the door and like, okay, just calm down. It's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna show you over this way. And like eventually I was able to get him and like kind of scoop him up and like open the door and he just like flew off and I was like, huh, is someone coming? Is there someone coming
Yeah,
into my life that is gonna be like, okay, I see that you just keep hitting your head against the wall and like you're continuing to do the same cycle. Like, let me show you this other way,
yeah,
this
it's you.
door that it just like opens up. So it was really
It's
cool.
you.
But
You're the fly and you're the person that's going to come save you.
oh, okay.
You
That's
get to be
fair.
both.
Thank
The
you.
duality in it. It's not
Thank you.
someone coming to save you. It's you letting
Yeah,
go.
no one's coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for that shift.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This riveting information.
Riveting. We've been saying that for what,
Oh,
two and a half years.
yeah,
It's always been
riveting.
riveting.
Nothing further.
Nothing further. Thank you for that.
Oh, I love that for me.
Big time. Just
Mm-hmm.
shift the perspective a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you said it yourself. You're now no longer the fly. Now you're you, guiding you out of the
Yeah.
patio.
Opening the door. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta sit
Because
with that today.
you hold all the tools. You hold the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. You hold the power. It's the same entity. It's just in a different capacity.
Touche, my friend.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go now.
I like it. Sit with it.
Yeah, I gotta sit with that one today.
Yeah, do it. And then we can talk about it next Tuesday with Tati.
Tuesday with Tati. Well, is there anything else that is feeling alive for you that you want to dig into or notice?
No, I think I've hit on everything that's feeling. Yeah, I think that the key word in that is like feeling alive. Like
Mm-mm.
like knowing I'm alive and continuing on in that realm and understanding what that means in the full capacity of that word. Like, what does it mean
Beautiful.
to be alive to me? How can I honor myself and in turn honor Jesse to fully cultivate the life that I want?
Mm.
So, yeah, right now everything feels alive. The appreciating the way the pine tree next to me blows in the wind, like how ridiculous. But I mean, honestly, a huge shift in the way that I've been shifted completely changes your perspective
Yeah.
on the meaning of just like living.
Mm. How do you feel in your body right now?
There's like there's a constant kind of like squeeze
Mm.
in my heart space,
Mm.
and it just feels like a little pulsy, and that's constant. I think a lot of people would call that like anxiety, and the way I would label that now is just like grief.
Yeah.
Like there's just a constant state of like grief, and it's like a heartbeat, but a separate heartbeat in my heart space.
Mm.
And it's almost like a trying to learn to synchronize them because they're off. If that makes sense?
Yeah. It's
So
yours.
while
So,
I'm like in a state of like peace today, and that's also kind of a constant state of being. There's also the constant heartache
yeah.
is another good word for it. Yeah. It's like an aching, a longing for
Mm,
like resolution,
yeah.
but that just comes with with continuing to do all these things.
All these big things.
Yeah. It isn't just like I don't think grief ever just like goes away. Like people say, oh, it gets easier with time, like time heals all wounds. Like not really. I think it just becomes easier to navigate. I think you just learn to navigate the heartache and learn to navigate the pain and use the pain as power in other realms. Like use it as fuel to amplify the things you're grateful for and to amplify the things that bring you joy and learning to
Yeah.
turn it into something rather than just sitting with it or ignoring it or just saying, okay, well, each day it'll get easier. I'll just think about it less and less.
And I feel like we adapt so much and then
Yeah.
we like our perspective shifts so much as more that we continue to heal
Yeah.
and mend those parts, knowing that they're still a part of us and they always will be. But it changes like the
Yeah.
form of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a gaping wound. Like
Yeah.
you can't just put a band-aid on a bullet hole. Like you have to go in and you have to dissect the wound, you have to clean it out, you have to remove the bullet, and then you have to stitch up
Yeah. And
each
that takes
layer
time.
individually, and that just takes time and that takes effort and that takes patience. That takes reassurance. It takes a lot of love for yourself.
Mm,
So it's just, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
you.
I love you.
Thanks for sharing and
Thanks for
just
being here
being
to
you.
listen. And
Yeah,
thanks
this
for
is
being a
nice.
safe space for me to navigate it all.
Yeah, it feels very aligned and just very fulfilling.
Yeah. I was just thinking the other day because there'll be moments where I'm just driving and then all of a sudden I'm sobbing uncontrollably. And like I walk into the gas station and my automatic reaction is to like quickly just clean up, put some sunglasses on so no one knows. No one
Mm,
knows what's going on.
interesting. Yeah.
And then I had this shift in thought process of being like, well, yeah, but if someone noticed and I just was like, yeah, grief, right?
Yeah.
Grief, am I
Yeah.
right?
For real.
Like acknowledging that that's just it's a normal feeling, it's a normal process. It's normalizing the process instead of trying to hide it. And it's in that
Yeah.
process that you make other people feel validated and seen. And so then maybe the next time that they're upset and crying, they may just allow themselves to do that.
Yeah.
So even
That's
in the
important.
pain, it's teaching me to still help and guide others. How can I use
Mm.
this to help? How can I use this to radiate more goodness in the world? So
Mm. Sweet.
it's a
Thank you.
constant thing. I feel good.
Good. Me too.
Good.
The sun, she came out, so I think I'm gonna go lay.
Yeah, do it. Go lay. I'm going to get
All
back
right.
to work.
Okay. Love you so
Until
much.
next Tuesday.
Sounds good, love.
I love you. Have a good day.
Me too. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.